Hi there, hope you're doing well. This is my next video about mixing and mastering workflow and recent projects which I've done. This is just a brief explanation of what is on the tracks and what is on the master bus. So if you have some questions about more deep explanation of which methods I use in my work, please write down below in the comments. We will see what I can do, maybe record another video. Let's go to the song. First, unmixed version.
Selv om uvær herjer veggene her inne i huset hvor jeg bor, jeg tross alt sammen med dem jeg elsker aller mest på jord. Selv om uvær herjer veggene her inne i huset hvor jeg bor, jeg tross alt sammen med dem jeg elsker aller mest.
Well, great song from a friend of mine from Norway. Let's go to track by track reviewing. So here we have a drum and bass bass track. I heard that drums and bass was a little bit too dark comparing to the rest elements in the mix. So I make them go to the same bass track, and here we have Fresh Air, a plugin from Slate, with a little bit of presence and air, and so actually just some high frequencies increasing. But yeah, let's turn off the master chain, just like it sound. Yeah, you can hear this difference. Let's go to the what we have under this, inside in this folder track. So we have the actually drums, bass guitar, and we have a snare reverb, just 100% wet mix. It's just like parallel reverb mixing into the dry sound from the drums. Here we have only snare, I think. Yeah, no toms, only snare. Drums.
Jeg kikker ut av vinduet og skravler om alt og ingen huset hvor jeg.
Let's increase the volume. So, Superior Drummer, version 3. Yeah, all MIDI is here inside, not on the arrange window and the Reaper, just inside the Superior. It's very comfortable to work with, because much more simple to edit all these events. Well, we have here Ludwig concert. Actually, there's some of preset, but additionally edited by me. Well, after we have Yeah, I think before I decide to read out of the bass tone from the bass drum, but later it was not important while mixing. Oh yeah, just because later here we have read out of the low frequencies. You can hear some trash in the lower area. It's not every time important to have it in the mix. And a saturation plugin which I use just to kind of bass compression. Well, some people use 1176 in parallel. Some people use, actually it doesn't matter, just you can use every compressor which you want, just do right settings on it, and it's okay. But this guy do very good job with parallel compression. Just hear it. Pretty good. And that's all actually. And after it goes here to the fresh air.
Blir sikkert bra i veggene her inne i huset hvor jeg bor. Er det tross alt sammen dem jeg elsker aller mest.
Yeah, and also drums go into the plate with minus 10 cent, minus 10 dB, and go here. And actually, as you can see, it's not a plate, it's a spring. Okay, what we have on bass? So first we have the EQ. It's a new 1084 from Overloud. Why new 1073 and 1084 are so famous? Just because they have curves which are very musical, very pleasant for our ear, and for surgical editing, there is another plugins, for example, like in general, DMG, Equic, or also famous FabFilter, EQ. Well, it's a theme for another video probably. Yeah, next we have get rid of some of lower resonances from a bass guitar. Those a little bit too muddy, boomy, Yeah, you can, while you're mixing, you can help yourself with the analyzer. And later we have MPEG from Plugin Alliance. More highs, more lows. Speaker simulation. Later we have LA2A compressor from Slate, and trimmer just to match volume before it will go to the compressor. So the volume is around 0 dB VU. So we have this inflating effect from compressor. Later we have, as you can hear, we have some noises from the strings and from the frets. Here is better. Actually, here you can hear the delta signal, which we will get rid of from the signal. So these artifacts are not good for us. And last, some equalization, high pass filter and low pass filter. Well, that's the drum and bass bass. Let's go further. We have acoustic guitar here. Let's go to the chorus. Okay. So yeah, again, high pass filter, some trash, and DC offset if it's exists. And some of muddy mids. Next, gain soothe, resonances from the low and low mid. This noise actually. Then FAB filter. Yeah, some resonance was here. And probably some artifacts from a picking. Next one. Again, this saturation plugin, which I use like bass, like compressor actually, to inflate the sound. Then emulation of Roland chorus from Plugin Mix company. Just a little bit movement and 3D feeling. Subtle, but important. The next one is glue. Here we have also very subtle settings. It's just to take control over the picks. Up to 2 dB reduction, I think. And the next one, a great new plugin from Waves. And actually I think I have some, yeah, I have some automation here with the volume. And the chorus is louder and verses are quieter. And width is probably 66. Well, I forgot what was this automation about. Yeah, I think it's about this 3Dimension plugin. And that's all acoustic guitars. And yeah, here we have 2 tracks, so hard left and hard right. Double track acoustic. And piano track. Yeah, you can see plenty of resonances, which was in this source. Actually, acoustic pianos often have a lot of issues which you must defeat to put this piano into the arrangement. Especially if we have a lot of instruments, because if we have only piano and singer, it's much more simpler. Well, gain some artifacts on the low and low mid. Then a little bit of fresh air, actually very high presence. Very subtle, yeah. And again, control of peaks. I think maybe here. Very subtle, as you can see. 1 dB, 2 dB max. And the stereo expansion. We're making this signal more white. So in this case we have more place for vocal in the center, for solo, and in the same time we can hear the piano as well. The mid-side Technicus and the mid-side equalization, this is also a very deep theme for Explain, probably also for another video if you want. And next track we have the organ, yeah, it's a Hammond. Just 2 plugins, if you can see. High passing. And yeah, this unpleasant noises from organ, these resonances. And as you can see, all these 3 tracks go into plate and to room with the different settings. Let's hear these 2 bass tracks are here. So the plate. Sorry, actually spring, not plate. And Room, just emulation of Studio Live Room. The next one is guitars. Actually, just few of them. First is Clean. Fender Twin emulation and some compression on the before with the full settings, as you can see. Then again another emulation of Roland 3-dimensional chorus. Or a great sound, high pass. Some resonances from high mids. Also very often for live for clean guitars and for drive guitars as well. It depends from instrument, from playing, from style playing, like the guy play. A lot of factors. And lastly, some space. A solo. What do we have here? Actually, this, yeah, is already processed with some plugins which the guy sent me already. So here we have only equalization and space. The next one. Ending the same Fender equalization. Actually pretty same settings as the previous one. And drive solo probably, yeah. One more Fender from Amplitude. Equalization. Dynamic suppression. This style of playing reminds me Mike Oldfield, if you know. Tubular Bells, yeah. And this is a great plugin. It's a side widener, as you can read. What it makes, it puts some frequencies to the left and some frequencies to the right, but it's fully mono compatible. So if I turn mono, so left plus right, yeah, mono sum, it's nothing changes. No matter it is on or off, but when we have stereo, the difference is huge, as you can hear. Very cool plugin. Becomes one of my favorite from the last 8 years, I think. And again, some Hershey. So here's the guitars. Let's go further, and we have vocals. In vocals, we have lead verse, lead chorus, backs, and that's all.
Det er liv bak alle vinduer, de har det sikkert bedre enn meg. Det går helt fint, det bare demper mitt verste jeg.
High
Det er
pass.
liv bak alle vinduer, de har det sikkert bedre enn meg. Det går
Gate.
helt fint, det bare demper mitt verste jeg.
Yeah, no compression here.
Det er liv bak alle vinduer,
Dynamic
de har det
equalization of
sikkert
low
bedre enn
and
meg.
lower mids.
Det går helt
It was
fint,
a
det
bit
bare demper
boomy.
mitt verste jeg.
Then we have this great
Det er liv
plugins
bak alle vinduer.
from Team Patrick. It's Vector Volterra technology from Italian company Acustica Audio. Very cool, actually. But you know, I found that last 6 months probably I'm almost I don't use them. I like to use some usual, you know, for example, the same LA2A from Slate and from just algorithmic plugins, not the Vector. Just because, yeah, they were cool, but you know, waiting the library to download. They have a lot of samples. It's like dynamic convolution and other disadvantages. So, but result actually, more than half part of result, more than 50%, is it should be great source and great arrangement, and the effects. It's like, you know, what do we have? FX, yeah, here. It's like a function from X, you know. If you have bad X, no matter which function you use to persist this, to edit this X, this source, our source in our case. So yeah, but I have them if I want something very clean and clear, you know. Sometimes I use those plugins. And yeah, they have 3 instances, as you can see. So preamp, which adds the harmonics, then actually compressor 1176 in this case, and the clipper. It's when you push signal too hard, it goes to clipping. Sometimes it is very useful. And the de-esser here.
Det er liv bak alle vinduer.
Probably default settings. Some small editing here. And
Det er liv bak alle vinduer, de har det sikkert bedre enn meg. Det går helt Jeg kikker ut av vinduet,
also
lengselen
rid of some of S sounds.
Jeg kikker ut av vinduet.
And this is the main bus for all vocals. Slight increase of high mids to be readable. The vocal get readable in the mix. And again,
Jeg kikker ut av
control of S's. The S sounds. Oh mine. Okay, this was for vocal in verse, vocal in chorus is a bit another.
Uvær herjer, veggene er inne i huset hvor jeg bor.
Probably almost the same, a little bit more compression.
Uvær Uvær herjer, veggene er inni huset hvor jeg bor. Er jeg tross alt sammen med dem jeg...
Oh yeah, and also spring can room here.
Engselen er en... Uvær herjer, veggene er inni huset hvor jeg bor.
Next one
Andre enn meg selv.
is Beck's
Kunne ligge til...
back vocals. And also an automation we have here on the lead chorus.
Det blir sikkert bra.
Yeah, this side widener plugin is it turning on only in this bridge part.
Bra igjen, det tar den tid det tar. Det blir sikkert bra igjen når stormen roer seg.
So my idea was to make kind of, you know, a wall of sound, but not in your face, just in the middle position in the mix. And back vocals, we have few parts.
Sikkert bedre enn meg. Det går helt fint, det bare demper mitt verste jeg. Sikkert bedre enn meg. Det går helt fint, det bare demper mitt verste jeg.
They're almost the same settings, maybe small difference between. Usually I take the lead vocal, make some adjustments, finding the right sweet spot for this particular vocal and for this particular recording, and then just copy paste this settings, and sometimes I get rid of the high frequencies or low frequencies on the double tracks and on the backs, but the main processing is almost the same. Only here you can see these two effects. It was some annoying resonance from this part of backs. Yeah, and that's all for vocals. Let's go to the mastering. Yeah, this is very useful because it's like VU meter. It's not actually VU meter by 100%, you know, because some needle ballistics and other parameters are not. It's a very simple script. How can I show you? Edit, yeah, here. So it's just, you know, few strokes of code. But why is useful? Because I have here a gain. I can instantly edit the gain, which is coming to the master bus. And at the same time, I can see raw balance just to fit all further plugins which are on the chain with the 0 VU, 0 dB VU. So if you want to compare, for example, yeah, let's take waves. So you can see the behavior is a bit different. but Waves has no gain knob to adjust, and Waves can be embedded in the Reaper's mixer like this. So this is the most useful thing for me. Well, this plugin is also on every my master chain, sometimes on buses. Very useful thing. If you're using Reaper, of course. If you're using some another DAW, you should find some great VU meter for yourself. Next one, we have the tape emulation. So you can hear a slight difference, slight actually increasing of low frequencies and small shelf of high frequencies. I can show you. Well, on this plugin Doom. Yeah, you can see this bump on the 50 Hz. And this bump too. And what is good for me from those plugins from IK Multimedia, because first of all they have an oversampling, which is you cannot turn off this oversampling. It's always work. So they are performance hungry, but they sound so cool. As I said, just comparing to Acoustica Audio, yeah, they have the Taupe plugin with a lot of different tape recorders, but they have only clipping from the tape, and also frequency response and some saturation. But this difference between left and right channel, these fluctuations, and low and flutter, this is the main thing, in my opinion, which makes tape recorders so tasty. Well, and in this particular case, oh yeah, and forgot to mention, here I have in a linear phase mode, I have this decreasing of this 50 Hertz, which I showed you before. So we have these fluctuations from this tape recorder and small increasing of high frequencies. That's all what I need from this plugin in this song. Yeah, very subtle, but one small, then second small effect, then third, and then we have a great sound, yeah. Well, the next is also EQ in the linear phase mode. What we're doing here is actually mid-side equalization. So if we want to hear the side channel, is doing here by mono and mono mode, left channel minus R, minus right channel, yeah. This is the difference between the left and right speaker, and in this difference we don't want to have some sub frequencies, sub bass and sometimes bass. The bass should be straight in mono in a center. Not in all cases, but almost every time. just noise. Get rid of this noise and that's all. Next one is the mastering equalizer from IK Multimedia. So what we have here, a little bit high shelf, a little bit of 3400 and a little bit of 7400. If we will want to see what it's doing, again, let's make. So here we have the curve which this equalizer do to the master mix. A bit brighter, yeah. The next one is Ozone. Here is actually only control of low frequencies. So just a small reduction, 2 dB or up to 3 dB, I think, just to make the bottom of the mix a little bit more solid. The next one is famous bass compression on a Master SSL. Solid State Logic, British made equipment for studios. And this particular instance is also from Tim Patrick under the Nebula Core dynamic convolution. So yeah, very subtle effect, but it glues the elements in the mix together. They can sound more in your face. And this is an instance of compression, and the next instance is of preamp. So some slight saturation of the signal. Next one is Wave Shaper, Oxford Inflator. Let's increase the effect. Well, if you want to have the maximum inflation from this plugin, so probably these settings would be cool. What is important when you do mastering? It's not to do, try not to make any bad things to the signal. All what you do, you must do just to make the signal better. And of course, this rule is also about mixing, but in mastering, it's much more important. You have the final material, and and just slight, moving the knob to the wrong place can break your overall sound and make the final product be not so good, not have a good sound in on certain systems and etc. Well, yeah, and the last plugin is just a maximizer limiter. I'll do the sound less. What do we have here? A DC offset. Just get rid of very low frequencies and some, actually DC offset, yeah. Balanced method of limiting, intersample peaks, oversampling, 16 times oversampled, and dithering by 424-bit, just because I'm rendering files to 24 bits, not to the 16. 16 is only for CD mastering, and well, some labels even today require the 16-bit, so sometimes I do the 16-bit out, but usually 24. Well, I can put the unity gain monitor so we can hear what this plugin do to the sound. Yeah, so it cuts some peaks. Mainly the peaks is from drums, but we have 9 dB increase in 9 dB difference. So on the output we have somewhere between -10 LUFS. Pretty great result, and of course you can make signal even louder, but you must know that it is not important, because all streaming services, for example, this track has -9, yeah? So YouTube will decrease the volume by 4 LUFS, actually 4 dB, 4 decibels down, comparing to all other material which is on this platform. From other side, the material should sound solid, you know. If, for example, yeah, we have -9, let's do -13. Let's decrease. Of course, we have less limiting, less maximization of the sound, but at the same time, it sounds not so solid, you know, just because until this long war of loudness, people are so beloved with this, you know, solid sausage in the output. So it depends. It depends every time from the style, from the result which client should have. But usually it's some kind between of -10, -9. It's my default point. I can do a separate mastering, special for streaming services and for CD or other types which is required by the label. So yeah, this is all. Let's hear again unmixed and mixed version. that's all, folks. Bye bye to the next video.